is the end.
You must teach her not how to fight like a god, but how to choose like a human.
Thor 5 is imagined as a bold continuation of the Thunder God's journey, blending cosmic spectacle with emotional depth, while redefining what it truly means to be a god in a universe that is constantly changing. The movie is envisioned as a story about legacy, responsibility, and identity, pushing Thor beyond the playful reinvention seen before and into a more reflective, powerful phase of his life. While humor still flows through the character, the tone leans more epic and mythic, balancing lighthearted moments with heavy emotional stakes that feel earned and resonant. At the heart of Thor 5 is Thor Odinson himself, now more self-aware than ever. Having faced gods, monsters, and his own inner doubts, he is no longer running from who he is. Instead, the story explores what comes after acceptance. Thor is stronger, wiser, but also burdened by the knowledge that his actions echo across realms. The movie treats him as a living legend, someone spoken about in myths while still struggling with very human emotions like loss, purpose, and belonging. The plot is imagined to revolve around a cosmic imbalance that threatens the very idea of gods across the universe. Ancient forces older than Asgard itself begin to awaken, challenging the role of deities and questioning whether gods deserve their power. This threat is not just physical but philosophical, forcing Thor to confront what separates gods from mortals. The conflict pushes him into unfamiliar territory where strength alone is not enough. A powerful new antagonist is envisioned as the driving force behind this chaos. Rather than being motivated purely by destruction, this villain believes that gods have failed the universe and must be erased or replaced. Their presence feels inevitable and terrifying. Someone who understands divine power deeply and knows exactly how to exploit its weaknesses. The antagonist's ideology clashes directly with Thor's evolving sense of responsibility, making their conflict deeply personal. The supporting cast brings emotional grounding and continuity to the story. Familiar allies return, each reflecting a different aspect of Thor's journey. Some characters challenge his optimism, reminding him of past mistakes and sacrifices. Others reinforce his growth, showing how far he has come from the reckless warrior he once was. Their interactions are layered with history, humor, and unspoken understanding. Thor's relationship with his power is a central theme. Mjolnir, Stormbreaker, and lightning itself are not just weapons, but symbols of worthiness and identity. The movie explores the idea that power can shift, evolve, and even reject its wielder if their purpose is unclear. This internal struggle adds tension, as Thor must prove not only his strength but also his values. The setting expands the cosmic scale of the story, traveling through breathtaking realms and ancient celestial locations. These environments feel alive with history, filled with forgotten gods, broken temples, and remnants of past cosmic wars. Each location adds layers to the mythology, making the universe feel vast and ancient, while reinforcing the idea that Thor is only one part of something much larger. Emotionally, Thor 5 leans into themes of loss and renewal. Thor reflects on everyone he has lost, from family to friends, and how those losses shaped him. Rather than being consumed by grief, the story frames these memories as sources of strength. The film suggests that honoring the past does not mean being trapped by it, a lesson Thor must fully embrace to move forward. As the plot unfolds, Thor is forced into an uneasy alliance with unexpected figures, including former enemies or morally ambiguous characters. These alliances create tension and spark philosophical debates about justice, power, and survival. Trust becomes a fragile thing, and Thor must decide when to lead with faith and when to rely on instinct. Midway through the movie, a major turning point reshapes everything. A devastating loss or shocking revelation challenges Thor's belief in himself and the gods as protectors. This moment strips away his confidence and forces him to confront the possibility that the villain might be right. The universe does not need gods as rulers, but perhaps as guardians willing to sacrifice everything. From this moment on, Thor's arc becomes deeply introspective. He questions what it truly means to be worthy and whether his destiny is to rule, to protect, or to step aside. This internal conflict is mirrored by the external chaos spreading across the realms, creating a powerful parallel between Thor's inner storm and the literal storms tearing through the cosmos. The action sequences in Thor 5 are imagined as grand and emotionally driven rather than purely flashy. Battles are intense, but each one carries weight, tied directly to character decisions and consequences. Lightning crackles across the screen, not as spectacle alone, but as an extension of Thor's emotional state, raging, fading, and ultimately stabilizing as he finds clarity. Humor remains an essential ingredient, but it is more character-based and situational. Thor's wit feels more mature, less about deflection and more about connection. Lighter moments arise naturally through interactions with allies and unexpected cultural clashes across the universe, keeping the film entertaining without undermining its emotional core. As the story moves toward its climax, the conflict escalates into a full-scale cosmic confrontation. Gods and mortals alike are drawn into the battle, emphasizing that the outcome will affect everyone, not just divine beings. Thor steps fully into his role, not as a king or conqueror, but as a symbol of balance between power and compassion. The final confrontation between Thor and the antagonist is envisioned as both visually spectacular and philosophically charged. Their clash is not just about strength, but about belief. Each represents a different vision of the universe's future. Thor's victory, if it comes, is achieved not through domination, but through understanding, sacrifice, and the willingness to change. The resolution of Thor 5 is imagined as bittersweet yet hopeful. The universe is saved, but not without cost. Thor emerges transformed, having redefined his purpose. He may choose a new path, whether that means guiding others, protecting from the shadows, or stepping away from the spotlight to allow new heroes to rise. In terms of cast, Thor 5 is imagined to continue featuring familiar faces alongside new cosmic characters. Each actor brings emotional weight and personality, enriching the story's themes. The chemistry between characters remains a highlight, balancing epic stakes with heartfelt moments. The release date is imagined as a major cinematic event, positioned to reignite excitement for cosmic storytelling. Anticipation centers around seeing Thor's evolution and how this chapter fits into the larger universe. The film is expected to appeal both to longtime fans and newer audiences drawn to character-driven superhero stories. Trailer information for Thor 5 is imagined to focus on atmosphere and emotion. Early footage teases cosmic destruction, ancient symbols, and a more serious Thor, while carefully hiding major plot twists. The music builds slowly, mixing epic tones with moments of silence, emphasizing the weight of Thor's choices rather than just action. Overall, Thor 5 is imagined as a powerful, mythic, and emotionally rich continuation of the Thunder God saga. It honors the character's past while pushing him into a future defined by wisdom rather than ego. By blending cosmic scale with personal storytelling, the movie stands as a story about growth, responsibility, and what it truly means to wield power in a universe that is always watching.